a lot of mumble jumble. And really the overall excuse was, well, our views are different. And I'm like, I don't even know what my world views are, man. What are you saying? Like, I don't even know what that means. I literally looked it up, like, what are world views? And it
Wow.
turned out smoke screen. So when people say to me, well, I don't like confrontation, what they're saying to me is they don't like to own what they feel. They don't like to own what they've done or what they're going to say. And so they'd rather scoot away. And life is too short to handle that kind of extra weight that brings to the table. No, thank you.
Wow, I never thought of
So
it that way because I don't like confrontation either, but I never thought of it that way, to be
I
honest
hope
with
I
you.
the feelings. Oh, and if I
No,
did,
no. Oh my gosh, no, not at all. But I always think of confrontation as being a big argument. And I guess for me, what I get out of that is I don't like to be judged. It makes me very uncomfortable. And I just have like a hyper reaction to it. I'm always just nervous. And it can be about anything. It can be about what I'm wearing. It can be about if I had you in my house, I just get nervous and I don't want to be judged. So for somewhere, that's a big deal for me. So I think that confrontation always comes down to my thought process is, oh, I'm going to be judged again. And whatever I'm being judged for is going to be negative and wrong. There's never a place where it's going to be right.
oh,
So I guess everyone thinks of it differently, but I hear a lot of women say that they don't like confrontation and they don't want to argue and they don't want to be perceived as someone who's more masculine, has masculine traits, and is more of like a bully. That's the other part of it that I hear a lot. Have you heard that as well?
not at all. No.
Wow.
Mm-mm.
Wow.
And if it does come across that way, by the way, I also coined the term not only grandstanding, but ogrely. Ogrely is now a new word. It's how I look in the morning. It's ogre with an ly on it. Yes. If it comes across as ogrely, I'm really sorry. I've told people don't mistake my enthusiasm for a sales pitch or what impassioned feelings. I was shut down for so long on being able to express how I really felt that for years it didn't come out right either. And so there's been this major pendulum swing from the left to the right to the center, hopefully, most of the time, where the expression isn't so bad or offensive or heated, and not in a bad way, just impassioned. But it's not something that I'm afraid to do where I used to be before, because I was jumping through hoops of fire and it was never good enough. And so I couldn't really find any words that were going to be okay. And I won't have people in my life like that anymore. I just won't.
Yes. Yes, I agree. I agree. And I think the older that I get, the less bandwidth I have for anything that's just not going to bring great stuff to my life. And because we want to bring great stuff to other people's lives as well. So it's about co-creating, serving, and we like to be as happy as we can, right? We don't want any of this junk, live too long with it. And I think as you maybe get a little bit more enlightened as you go along your spiritual path, you realize that there are people that are going to suck the energy out of you and they don't give you any good energy back. And that there are times when you have to say, and you tell me what you think, because you were the one that put in, former energy vampire.
That
Um,
person, yeah,
yeah. And
yeah.
tell me, I'd love to hear the story about the ray of light, how you became the ray of light. How did that happen?
Well, thank you. And let me just follow up on that. Recently, I was interviewed, and somebody looked up energy vampire in Google, and I think it was a misrepresentation. Quite honestly, Google, I beg to differ. And yes, I will argue with Google. I don't care. Because what they made it sound like was more of a narcissist, and they are all about themselves in a way. But here's a different way. A narcissist will happily step on your back, whereas I would happily throw my dress down on the puddle so you could step over it first, and I would stand there naked. Like I was completely a people pleaser. I was raised that way, and what happened is I became extremely needy. So that's what people pleasers are doing. So desperately needing love and please love me, please, mom, dad. I don't know where it came from, but probably both. And so that's where an energy vampire is somebody who is so empty inside that whatever it is that you have to offer, they're latching onto it. They're desperate for it, whether it's a compliment or attention or whatever it is that they feel that they lack, and they do lack it. That's not a fake thing. If you don't have a realization of money in your back pocket, you don't know how rich you are. You have no awareness of it, then it doesn't exist.
Mm.
So it's a genuine condition, and it really does. It sucks the energy out of the room and the life out of friends. And my best friend quit me after I was hanging on to her coattails for dear life. I felt I had no value, but she did, and I knew her. So surely we can make
Wow.
this together. Yes, indeed.
Wow.
So what happened, Julie, to answer your question about the array of light, I was babysitting. Thankfully, the 3-year-old was asleep in the house. I was far in the backyard at the fire pit. It was August. My birthday had passed in June. And once again, my parents had said nothing. And I thought, here I am, 31 years old. I'm so sick of hoping that anything good will ever come out of this relationship that I was born into. And I was crying. And I remembered what was like a landmark case. A brother and sister were awarded a legal divorce from their family because their parents were so abusive. And the judge made sure that these two, who were minors, could find another place to live. It was incredible. And I never forgot that. And then also I remembered that the Aborigines do a name changing ceremony based on what they bring to the tribe. And so I decided that I was going to divorce myself from my family. I wrote it out. I threw it in the fire pit because that's what you do, right? You burn
Yes,
stuff.
absolutely. Yes.
I sat there and I'm still crying. I was like, oh my God. But then I decided to do what the Aborigines do. And I chose the last name Ray. And I looked up Alexis, and it came from Alexander the Great, meaning helper of mankind. And I said, that's me. I don't look like it right now, but someday I will be. And when I changed my name legally, every time I sign it, I think A Ray and I think of light.
That's awesome. That's awesome. And you couldn't have chosen like Alexander. I mean, that's phenomenal. And by the way, my name's from Julius Caesar. So we're a pair. We're a total pair here. We're
Indeed,
killing it.
girlfriend.
This is awesome. This is awesome. Well, I mean, your transformation is huge and amazing. And I really commend you for it. I'm not just saying that. I'm a really genuine person as you are, and I can feel it. And I just love that you've given the listeners some tips. What would be, we're almost out of time, but before I let you tell us where people can find you, maybe you can give the listeners, what's the one top tip that you would give them if they're struggling in any area of their life right now?
Become aware of where the struggle is, because dark and light teach us this. Negative and positive are both valuable. So find out where the pain point is. There's the value. That darkness is seeking light and love. So go into it. You have to go in through it to get over it. So find out what that is, because the positive on the other side is the result of you doing that. Trying to avoid it is pester, fester, boom. Something bugs you, you push it away, it blows up later. Pester, fester, boom. Never a good look.
Yeah.
So what you want to do is examine those pain points, go into them, figure them out, love them away, and then the positive will be the result of that activity.
Awesome.
Through
Awesome.
awareness, acceptance, and action comes change.
Awesome. Awesome. I would love to thank you so much for being here today. Where can people find you?
At thealexisray.com. Real easy. I had to
Really
put a
easy.
the in front of it. Somebody else got my name for a .com. I was like, really?
Really? Oh, come on.
Yes. So the Alexis Ray. So it's Alexis like Alex is, and then ray.com.
Awesome.
So thank you. Yeah.
I can't thank you enough for being here. Just one quick question. You do have the Facebook group. Is that open to everyone?
Yes.
Yay!
Yes, I'm so excited.
Yes.
Okay, I have two groups. I have bold movers and shakers, people that are living out loud, taking the leap finally. And I also have the podcast guest club, which I love.
Yes, I love that too. Yes.
Thank you.
So people can join. We definitely want people to join and look her up, because I think you're doing some incredible things. And just from the short bio that I had on you, I knew I wanted to chat with you. I can't thank you enough for being here. I'm honored that you were here, and I'm so thankful that you gave us some really cool tips to change our lives, because I really think you've transformed yours. So thank you so much for being here, Alexis. Thank you.
Julie, thank you so much. Really appreciate
the
opportunity.
Absolutely. And everyone, remember, stay present, step into your power, and never give up on your dreams. If you have any questions, comments, or would like to know more about a guest on our show, please contact me at jsalant5@outlook.com. That's J, S as in Sam, AILLANT as in Tom, 5 @outlook.com.